We spend a fair amount of time talking about the things that challenge us and not always enough time taking a few moments to be grateful for what we have. Hey everybody, Pierre Quinn here, and I teach leaders like you how to courageously begin the journey to personal and professional transformation. And in this video, I want to talk to you about the 5 things you should write about in your journal today. So let's go. Before we jump deeper into the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can be one of the first to know whenever I release new content. I love writing in a journal. For the past several years, I've kept a journal full of notes, full of thoughts, full of ideas, full of messages, full of talks, full of trainings. I got a lot of stuff in these journals. I realized that much of my growth has come from keeping a log during certain moments of my life. I know I'm not alone. Many people write about the benefits of having a journal. So if you're on the fence about keeping a journal, before I give you the 5 things you should write about in a journal, let me share with you some of the benefits of actually having a journal. Now, I know people like to journal in different forms, but if you ask me, actually writing on paper is the best way to journal. If you can't understand your own handwriting and you just have to type, I get it, but I want to challenge you as much as possible to put pencil or pen to paper as you keep your journal. So here are a few benefits to having a journal. 1, having a journal actually helps you to chart your progress. You can track over time how you've grown, how you've developed, the progress of a particular project that you're on. As you take notes from one stage to the other, you can look back and actually notice how far you've come. Another benefit of keeping a journal is that it helps to facilitate the learning process. There's so many things that we learn, so much information we come across, so much research we do, and a lot of times we research it just for a moment or just for a conversation or just in preparation for a meeting. As you take notes on the things you learn, you actually continue to facilitate the learning process by going back to review those notes. Another benefit of keeping a journal is that it helps you to practice gratitude. And let's be honest, a lot of us could use much more gratitude in our lives. We spend a fair amount of time talking about the things that challenge us and not always enough time taking a few moments to be grateful for what we have. Keeping a journal is a great way to exercise gratitude. Another benefit of having a journal is that it can help you release tension. We carry around so many things in our head, and one of my favorite activities is to do a brain dump at the end of the day. I sit down and for 15 or 20 minutes, I just empty. I write down every single thing, every passing thought, every idea, every challenge. I dump it all out on the paper. It helps me to calm down, and I get much better sleep because I've gotten many of those things out of my head. The last benefit of having a journal that I'll share is that having a journal promotes creativity. A lot of leaders, a lot of designers, a lot of speakers, when they get ready to work on a new project, always go back to their notes because something was sparked maybe a week ago, maybe a month ago, maybe a couple of years ago, and they wrote down that inspiration for that moment. So having a journal helps you keep track of all the cool things that you see that you want to make use of or use as a catalyst for your own project. So if you want to chart your progress, if you want to facilitate learning, if you want to practice gratitude, if you want to release tension, and if you want to promote creativity, then you should use a journal. Now, I know what some of you are saying, Pierre, I have a journal, but I don't really know what to write about. I mentioned 5, but I'm going to give you 6 things to write about. In fact, it's going to come in the form of 6 questions that you can answer in your journal today. Question number 1, what worked well today? As a leader, there are some things that have happened that you're proud of, that you pat yourself on the back, that you've celebrated your team, a milestone or breakthrough for your organization, some difficult task that you got through. Take notes on that and jot down the things that have worked well for you recently. A second question to answer in your journal today is, where did I miss the mark? Where did I mess up? Where did I stumble? Where did I bumble? Where did I totally miss what I was supposed to do? Now, this reflective exercise is very important because it allows you to not put off the fact that in some form or fashion, you've made a mistake. You don't get everything right, and those are learning experiences. So take some time to reflect on the things that you didn't get right. the things that you stumbled through, and the areas that you messed up. And then take a deep breath and forgive yourself as you strategize a plan around getting past the mess up. A third question to answer in your journal is, what did I learn? We read so many articles, we watch so many videos, we sit through so many seminars and virtual workshops, and we are inundated with information. But for so many of us, that information just kind of falls away because we don't grab it and coalesce it. Answering the question, what did I learn, forces you to go back to some of the articles that you read, maybe an audio book that you listened to, maybe a TED Talk that you watched, and it compels you to write down some of those key thoughts to track what you've learned this week. Maybe your learning this week is in the context of relationships. You've learned what not to say to a colleague or a friend or family member. Whatever you've learned, make sure that you write it down, that you capture it in your journal. Question number 4 to answer in your journal: who did I help? As a leader, this is a very, very important question. Who did I help? Who were you able to provide some assistance, some guidance, some mentorship, some strategy, some support for this week? If in your leadership capacity you haven't helped anyone today, this week, this month, then you haven't been leading, because a key component of leadership is helping other people get to where they need to be. And sometimes that happens one step at a time. But no matter the size of the help, be sure to track the help. And if you can't think of ways that you tangibly have helped someone else, then put it on your calendar to reach out to people and find out what help they need. Question number 5 to answer in your journal: what am I looking forward to? Oh, I love this question. It's a question that's built on anticipation. Is there a vacation? Is there a project? Is there a trip? Is there some change? Is it a graduation? Maybe some other celebration that you are looking forward to? Take some time, pause, take a deep breath, and enjoy the anticipation that comes in the moment as you jot down an experience that you're looking forward to. This really helps with perspective, because there are seasons of life where we spend so much time with what's going on in the here and now that we don't give enough light to what can happen in the future. So talking about what you're looking forward to experiencing is a great way to do that. And it doesn't have to be large, doesn't have to be grand. You could be looking forward to a fishing trip. You could be looking forward to a walk in the park. Whatever it is, write it down and enjoy the anticipation. And here is question number 6 that I need you to answer in your journal today. And that is, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? Take a gratitude moment, especially on the days where you're struggling, where you're frustrated, where you're annoyed, where you're overwhelmed, where days seem a little dark and clouds are heavy. Those are the moments where you need to practice gratitude the most. Take a few moments, sit down with your journal and write down all of the things that you have to be grateful for. You're grateful that you have a great job. You're grateful that you have your health. You're grateful that you have an amazing family. You're grateful that you have a platform and people are actually interested in what you say. You're grateful that you've had somebody support you. You're grateful for your mentor or your coach. You're grateful for the house that you live in. You're grateful that you were able to drive to the gas station and put gas in your car. Those simple moments of gratitude can turn around your whole day. That's why it's important for you as a leader to take some time and reflect on what you're grateful for. So those are my 6 journal prompts for you as a leader. And I need you to take some time today, right now, as soon as this video is over, take some time and answer those questions. I'd love to hear in the comment section how often you write in your journal and how the experience has impacted your leadership. Now, this is very important, because if you really want to remember something, you need to write it down. So grab your journal and get to writing.